Hey, we're going to do a live stream New Year's Day from John's basement. We're going to be tinkering around all day. If you want, you can join us. If not, well, oh well. Let me get this up here. I'll be real surprised if we get any real observers today on New Year's Day. Yeah. Other people have to have a life. Oh no, we got one viewer and one thumbs up already.
Is that all you ever think about?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that a lot.
That's all we think about. Anyway, John's over working on his Nobler. I'm working on the Tucker, and we'll just let it run. I'll try to spout some interesting things we're doing, but I don't know what's going to be interesting today, except for maybe cutting in the canopy or who knows. Had a few issues on the paint job. Oh, you'll notice I put the radiators on top of the wheel pants here. I thought that would got 2 viewers now, so other people have nothing to do besides this, John. So there's at least 2 guys doing nothing.
Well, I didn't go out drinking and get drunk last night, so.
I think I am going to put that gold radiator underneath the fuselage.
Right.
I think it's only a square,
You know, this thing.
It don't fit. Isn't that amazing? Three viewers. Hey guys, Happy New Year!
Yeah. Woo! We're now truly officially a year older.
Yeah.
I don't think I had this thing together since I epoxied all that stuff.
Yeah, it's 2020 now. I think that was Jack. Let's see. Come on, there we go. Yep, Jack Snavely, now 2020. Wow.
Hey, Jack.
We're getting a sneak peek at John's Nobler. You can put them wheels on it.
Can't fit them in there yet. I gotta turn them down. I'll probably do that today, though. I'm just trying to clean up a little bit. Here, I think this come out of your stuff.
Yeah, throw it in my junk.
Well, it was in there with my stuff, so. I don't have the grooves cut in this yet. For all the wires to get down in there.
Put it on the scale. Let's see how much a puppy weighs. Piece of tape on these to hold them up. That's what I do.
Right there in front of you.
Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the share button. This is a scratch-built Giske Nobler. Feel like it's got any girth yet?
Oh yeah.
Just same weight as mine. Get your canopy and set it on there. You gotta have
It's
that
not
in
cut
the
out yet.
pilot.
Not cut out. Pilot's not cut out. They're glued together.
Da, da,
Think
da.
about dyeing this thing to
This is the important part right
tinting the
here.
canopy.
This should be no more than 35 ounces. You gotta have the pilot.
Pilot and a propeller. It's got a propeller here somewhere. Where'd it go?
I don't know. Do you throw it in my box?
I don't remember. Pilot, propeller.
2 thumbs up. That's good. Okay, great. That's 35 ounces right there. 36 ounces. That's a piece of fuel line. You're going to be hard pressed on finish.
Yeah.
This is where the mystery pounds come in. So we got 32 and 4, that's 36.
1,030 grams.
1,030 grams. It ain't built easy building light airplanes, boys.
36.35.
Let's see what mine weighs. I don't have Tommy in there, but
Of course, the canopy's not cut down, but
that would be a gram or two.
that's not really the prop I'm going to be using. That's a 12.5. I'll probably use an 11 something.
So you're down to 36. So you got 4 ounces for paint. You know that ain't happening.
No.
And here, now this has the wingtip weight in it, but I don't have my pilot in it. .32 is 40 ounces, as is. Yeah, 40 plus 2 grams. It's 40 ounces, no clear. So 2 ounces for clear, 42 ounces.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably 44.
We're saying 44 all along. We've been saying 44 for both of them, and I think we're going to be more closer to 44 than anything.
The reason being is we're giving up all that weight on the engine.
Yeah.
But
It's got a ball bearing motor in there though, and much better than a Fox. More power, more smoother running, you know.
What are you gonna do? You know,
The one I got comes in today, but I don't think it's gonna be here till Friday. But
on New Year's Day, mail ain't gonna run.
I don't know about UPS and all them places.
So today, I'm over here. We're gonna have hand in cutting this canopy in, which should be a real trick. Yep, I'm at 40 ounces as is, all up Everything's in it. Let's see if we got any more chatters.
I don't know what
Nope.
else I could do to lighten this thing up. There'll be a trade-off on some of this stuff because it gets sanded off and airfoiled on the flaps yet.
That'll be like
But-
quarter ounce.
I gotta cut these apart and put plywood on it, so that negates all that all the heck in a handbasket. Paint on the pilot, that won't weigh much of anything, but it's still grains. You know, everybody thinks that, I'll tell you what, everybody thinks that a little grain here and a little grain there doesn't mean nothing, but when you add up 100 little grains or 1,000 little grains here and there all over that airplane, it adds up to
Yeah.
ounces or fractions of an ounce.
Did you see that? You know what we're gonna do about that?
Nothing. What happened there?
I don't know. Looks like I was squeezing it.
Yeah, or you touched it to something, moving it around. Got a tendency to pick them up. I know. I filled that little hole in it, but it still isn't filled in. It's going to get filled in with primer though and spot putty now.
Remember where you're at. So if you decide to primer it, it can't have any primer on it. After you know.
Well, right now I'm not really doing anything that's adding anything to it. All I've been doing is shaping and, still shaping a little bit and sanding, so.
Phillips is gonna add probably 3/4 of an ounce.
Think I'll add that much?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably will. Half anyway.
The primer will add, well, I got 2 ounces, I put 2 ounces of primer on this and sanded it all off, or tried to, but
You still end up with about an ounce.
Yeah.
Get about half of it off. Yeah, if you're lucky. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
70 ounces.
If it weighs 44, it weighs 44. I don't care. It's going to be a nice looking airplane one way or another. I'd like to hit 42. I'd like to hit 40.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, I had a regular Nobler, a 52 Aldrich Nobler that was 40 ounces flyable, ready to fly. But it had a Fox 35 in it. It didn't have a nose ring, an extender on it. There's some more weight. It didn't,
You know that other Nobler I built, the Cherry's got 41 ounces. With this motor in it.
well, I had a different kind of tank in it. Didn't have all this plumbing that this tank's got.
Well,
I didn't, let's see.
You built the motor, a tank for the other Nobler, didn't you, for Jerry?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, that was your airplane when I built the tank for it, wasn't it? Oh yeah, well then, yeah.
No, Jerry didn't like the clunk tank, so
You got 2 tanks, I think, or was that another plane I
That's
built?
another
No,
airplane.
that was the Russian plane I built 2 tanks for.
Yeah.
Now he's not even flying it hardly.
it's changed over to electric.
Yeah.
And
Well, he couldn't get those motors to run.
yeah, retro.
Engines, Discovery retros or whatever they were.
Well, then he'll get his PA to run.
Yeah, that'll be a no-brainer deal, as long as he doesn't try to make it run like a Fox.
Okay, guys, put in a comment. We got 6 watchers, 5 thumbs up. You guys have no life either, I see.
I think this airplane's a little bit bigger than that one. We know it's longer.
Slightly bigger. I thought we put my wing on top of the
They're
plane.
they're close. The wings are close, but the moment arms is longer. The tail moment arms longer.
Okay, let's check it out. See what it is. Nose moment on the Tucker is 8 1/4.
Another ruler on measurement.
8 1/4 on
So
the.
what are you measuring from leading edge to back of spindle?
Yep.
This is almost 9 inches.
This is 8 3/8. So, and the hinge line to hinge line,
8 15/16.
12 1/2. I know that one's longer.
This one's 14 1/2.
Yeah.
Stab is about 21 inches long.
Same here. Well, same here. 21 1/2.
Cord is 6 at the root.
It's 5 1/2 here.
6 4.
3 1/2 at the tip.
Okay, that's 23 1/2.
Outboard wing, 23 1/2.
Let's see, hinge line to cord roughly 7 3/7/8.
8 1/2.
This is almost 10, right at 10.
9 3/4. Inboard wing is 25 1/2. 24. About 24 1/4. So this, my wingspan is bigger than that. But it's a little longer, that one.
I think it's probably, if you measured it all out, it's probably pretty much the same square inches.
But the short coupled airplane will give you the.
With a bounce after it.
No. Not when you're running nose heavy. I'm sure that it'll bounce if I gob the paint on it. The dope.
So they're pretty comparable airplanes to one another.
And they're both built exactly the same way with the foam leading edge.
Yeah. Don't have that starved horse look.
Yeah, I like that.
That works.
Let's see if it holds up in.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a D.
Yeah. D2 wing. No ribs in it. That should hold up better. You know how foam wings are. You can't hardly break one.
Got a little flex at the tip.
Of course, if they got half of it's build up, it's not a full foam wing. This thing, man, you're hard pressed. I'm afraid to even twist it hard enough. Oh, wingtips out with it.
Yeah, you don't want to break it.
Not at this stage of the game. I'm fixing to cut that slice down and then flaps so I can, for my wires, but I can run it the full length.
You use the mill.
Yeah, I set up a mill with a little saw blade in it and a little back guide.
We'll show that process.
And
So what do you think of my hinging system?
well, yeah, it's alright. It's good. It's good. I'm not gonna sit here and pull any punches on it. It's like any other hinging system that you use. You might have some teething problems with it, and it's different. It takes some getting used to. There's some things that I do that you don't, and some things you do that I don't. I like to. The one main problem that I don't like about it is in the finishing stages, because you already have your hinges glued in here the way you do it, and you got to finish. And And the way I do it, when I cut the slot all the way down through, then I fill it with 64th inch wood back up wherever I don't want it at. I guess you could just slice a slot at every hinge, but it leaves a curved radius in there, and when you go filling and then with stuff, it's sort of a pain in the butt. You know, so I slice the the center line of the hinge. I slice that slice all the way down there, whatever that center line distance is.
3/16
3/16 of an inch. These are 3/8 hinges. So I cut that 3/16 deep, the whole length, and then just take ingrain balsa and stick in where I don't want to, and it goes in there square, flat.
7 watchers, 6 thumbs up. 7 guys, Happy New Year. I guess you have no life either.
Yeah, that's about it. I get that done. I gotta bush my hinges. You know, there's some stuff you gotta do. You know, the hinges, you gotta acquire them. You gotta cut wire for them. You gotta.
I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to give a little plug to the guy who, it's my design. Well, I didn't think it up. I was told about it 25 years ago and couldn't grasp it. I finally, the light came on one day while watching TV. You got a hinge here?
You pull one out right there. Pull that one out of the tip of the wing.
I've done many hinging videos. But this is what the hinge looks like. It's a little lollipop. Everybody see that? You put a little brass bushing in there and you put a wire in there with an L shape and you stick it in the back of your flap. I don't sell these, but if you want to buy them, the guy on the forum in the vendor's corner that has the routing business, I can't remember the name of the guy. I mean, if he needs my permission, I don't think he does, but go, get a hold of him. It's $30 for a bag of them. The way you guys build, $30 will last you a lifetime.
Yeah, probably 50 or maybe 100 in there.
Yeah, it takes 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 hinges per airplane. Don't put any more than 3 hinges in the flaps because they bind up. So 3 hinges in the flaps and 2 in the elevators. Of course, you have to have your horn bushed through the hinge as well. So the system is the horn is bushed through the hinge, a hinge, and then the hinges. And then it's set back. If you have 3/8 flaps, you get a 3/8 lollipop. And the line is cut 3/16 deep. That way, the hinge pocket sits back in there. And if you've seen some of my other videos, I did some pocket hinges where I've sanded the trailing edge. These are classic airplanes where they're both rounded, but where I've sanded the trailing edge that it moved like this. And that way it'll pivot right on its center and it won't get a gap in there, so you don't have to use tape. I do not tape hinges.
Yeah, that's another thing you gotta. We started doing some airplanes with the trailing edges of the wings, where the sheeting on the top and bottom of the trailing edges hung over an extra 1/8 of an inch past the trailing edge proper, and it created that pocket. You know, rather than just being straight here and you had this knuckle hinging on it like this, we created that pocket by letting this sheeting overhang the vertical trailing edge proper, and when you stick it in there, it creates a pocket and it goes up and down. You don't want to let it overhang more than 1/8 of an inch, or then you're going to start stopping because your flap will come up and hit it, or go down and hit it, or elevator, either one. You use it on both. I think Keith Trossel did that on this flocky wolf. a long time ago.
It's nothing.
He made them in a pocket like that and stuff, and everybody complained because it's a little bit harder. Uh, but how hard it is it to make a piece of wood that's an eighth of an inch wider than anything else? So to me, it wasn't.
Well,
it
this
wasn't
this
that.
hinging system is very similar to the Yatsenko's.
Yeah, it is the same thing basically.
Well, you can do it with those
Robar hinge pins.
roll-bar hinge pins, but you never can get them in straight.
Well, you got to take them. You got to put a square on them. You got to let them hang down and put a square on your trailing edge and run it up to the hinge before it dries. Make a hinge hang perfectly square, 90 degrees to the trailing edge, and it's bent down. And let it come out, hang down, and then square it this way.
And then you got to square it this way.
Well, yeah, it's all got to be square every way. Well, regular hinge, the same thing. I help that with regular pin hinges that I get, any kind of a pin hinge. They come with a little mushed end on the wire. I cut all the wires out of them, go to the hobby shop, and get a piece of wire that's the next size smaller. I go in there and take a scalpel or X-Acto knife and I clean out all the flashing and everything, and I just bend an L ankle out of the new piece of wire, and it gives a little slop, makes the hinges move a lot freer, and then it works great like that. And you take a stock hinge and you free it up tremendously, but at the cost of
A day's work.
half a day of messing around with all the hinges on the airplane. 16 hinges or however many hinges you're going to use on it. A lot of guys put 4 or 5. I've seen 10 hinges on a flap, one flap, which is way overkill. But 4 is plenty. You can get by with 3. These smaller planes don't really only need 3. But a big 60 size planes, you only need 4 on them.
I only put 3 on.
So you got, but sometimes the guys they'll cut off the flaps, or they're made like that in the kit, and the end piece is supposed to be glued to the wing, but they'll make that a trim tab, and that takes 2 more hinges there. So you got 4 in the flap. So that's 6 per side. That's 12 hinges on a.
Do you still have that bag of hardware from Bill's airplane? Go get it. We're going to show you something. This is mind-blowing. Okay, we talked about it once before. And if you don't think it's important, scale's over there. John was given an airplane. Is this all of it? I don't think it is.
Yeah, that's all. It's all but the bell crank.
Yeah, there's no bell crank in this. This is all the hardware that came out of the airplane. I want to see a guess from you guys how much you think this bag weighs. This will blow your mind. So when you're choosing hardware for your airplane, there's
the bell crank that came out of it.
There's the Pro Stunt Products bell crank that goes with this bag of crap, and this doesn't include the lead outs, whatever they add.
There's a set of some wire.
Set of wire. So we get.
They have a post in it.
No, it didn't put the post in
Yeah,
there.
it's got a post.
Oh, it does have a post. Okay. Let's see a guess from you guys. Put it in chat. How much you think this bag of stuff weighs? Let's see. Somebody said, "Hey, I resemble that remark. Ain't just life."
It's all the nuts and bolts that hold all the hatches and covers and cowling and motor and all that stuff. And it might not even have motor mount bolts in it.
Come on, guys. Let's see a guess. Type it in the chat. I want to see a guess from somebody before I put it on the scale. I would venture to, okay, 3 ounces, Jack Snavely says. I would venture to say you couldn't hold this bag out at arm's length. 10 ounces, Dr. Dimple says. You couldn't hold this bag out at arm's length for more than 5 minutes. Oh, 16 grams, says Greg Myers. Well, Greg, I gotta tell you, you're a way off. Okay, drum roll, please. We are going to weigh this pile of hardware, and let's make sure that I get a good zoomed in shot so you can see the scale. Might have to, yeah, there we go. Da 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 da. 6.5 ounces.
183 grams. 82, 83, 82. It settled down to 182 grams, 6.5 ounces.
So when you're building your airplane, you better select hardware that's light. Because it doesn't matter, you can't get wood light enough to make up for that.
Remember, there's no wheels,
Yeah, there's no wheels on there.
axles, or landing gear in this. There's a tail wheel and a wire.
So we're going to add 3 ounces for
So
landing gear and wheels.
almost 10 ounces.
So you're carrying around more than an engine of junk. So next time you build your airplane, choose light hardware. I use aluminum bolts for hatches. Not that that really makes a big difference, but
I tried the nylon bolts and stuff and some aluminum bolts, but you got to be really, really careful with those things because they strip out and break off super easy. And
my gear held on aluminum.
yeah, but that's a socket head cap screw. If you get something like a countersunk aluminum,
Oh, you can't use that.
well, the countersink isn't big enough in it unless you use a machined Allen wrench on them. You know, not just a regular Allen wrench that you buy at the hardware store or the hobby shop. You got to get one that they use like on RC cars and helicopters that are machined hardened Allen wrench, and then you still got to be really careful with them. So, I mean, this is all the weight, tail weight, nose weight, whatever, and wingtip weight. It didn't include the adjustable lead-out hardware, which was another about 12,256 blind nuts or threaded insert type things, and 4, 6, 256 bolts. So there's about 20 holes drilled in there, and every one of them had a little blind nut in it, and then the bracket with 2 bolts in each bracket for each wire. You move them individual, so that didn't include all that either. So I mean, I understand a little bit about belt and suspenders, you know, and stuff like that, or a machinist engineering standpoint, you know.
Belt, suspenders, super glue, and epoxy.
But like Robert, like on his, this is probably one of the lightest wingtip adjustments that you can have. Now, taken for granted, you don't have the micro adjustment of a slider. But this is probably the lightest. It's a maple block in there that's cut and sanded to the shape of the wingtip with eyelets that just press into holes about 1/8 of an inch apart along here. So you get some adjustment, which is fine. But you don't get a 32nd of an inch adjustment on your lead out positions, which I don't know that you really need it to go that finite, but I've got in my wingtip of my airplane, I've got just your conventional slider. It's a one single block with 2 wires going in a single block and 1 single screw in the middle. And I'll tell you what, I've never had a problem with it. It's just a friction thing. There's no screw going into a plate that bolts on it. It's just your standard lead out slider with a single adjuster. You can't adjust either.
There's my adjustable lead out piece there. It pulls out of the hole and you move it over one hole and they weigh nothing. Here again, This is not my idea. That's stolen from Bob Hunt.
Yeah, that's Bob's idea. That's a good one. It works. They're a little finicky to build, but once you get used to doing that, it's not too bad of a problem.
You got any new eyelets? These are all full of crap.
Well, how many? I've given you 1,000 of them things. I'm just kidding.
Give me a couple.
You need to cut them off a little bit.
Nah, I like them long. That way I get more glue on them when I find the right spot.
Well, you need to keep the old ones on there. I'll give these to you, but don't put them in until the last minute,
Well, that's
right before you tie your lines. It's gonna get clear all over them then. Unless you wanna do that.
yeah, clear don't look bad though. And these are different. A little bit bigger in diameter.
Same bag. What do you do? Do you mush these, the ends of them?
No.
All the ones I got come just like that, not like that one. Look at the difference in that.
Yeah.
Where'd you get those at? You can get those from me.
I don't know.
Every one of these are identical, so I bought this bag about 10 years ago. It was almost half full, twice that many. I don't know. Got them by the pound down at Mendelssohn's Army Surplus.
Let's see. We got some chatters. Back to work. Watch y'all later. Okay, Jack. Thanks. Happy New Year.
See you, Jack.
Titanium hardware. Titanium is not that light, really. And neither is carbon fiber. The lightest building material is balsa wood.
Pretty much.
But
For your weight, your strength, the weight ratio. You know, everybody was saying something about what's the optimum weight for a stunt ship.
light as you can make it.
Well, it used to be, the theory was, ounces per square foot.
Yeah.
And the ultimate, I guess the best at the time, and that's been many moons ago, was like, I think it was 10 ounces a square foot.
Well, nowadays it's 10 pounds per square foot.
I mean, if you wanted a good competitive stunt plane, it was 10 ounces a square foot or less. I mean, that was sort of the theory that went on there for a long period of time. And now that's sort of thrown out the window with the advent of these, you know, where you're not flying Fox 35s anymore, you know. You know, it was a super light motor, fragile, but didn't have any power either. But now you're flying motors that's smaller, have 3 times the horsepower, and all the way up to the big, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, 4 strokes.
Why did your spinner look different than mine?
I don't know.
15 3/4, right?
Yeah.
Looks bigger.
Just ordered it from Brodak. And it didn't say needle nose or anything like that on it. It said 1 3/4 inch.
Oh, this is a Brodak spinner. I bought that box of crap at the.
Maybe they switched from English to metric on the sizes. That'd make it a little bit
I bought the box of stuff at the swap meet for $40, and this $25 spinner was in it. Now they're 30.
Yeah, that'll pay for that box in a heartbeat. Just one item.
we got all that other crap in there too.
Yeah, we made these tongue mufflers on here. These are handmade. They are not store-bought. I'm sure that you could, I mean, these motors that we're running, the engines that we're running in here, correct myself, it's electric motor, model airplane, gas-powered engine.
Well, OS does make a tongue muffler. That's what's on Jerry's.
Right, I think an LA muffler will probably fit on these
Yes.
motors without any problems.
The guy from Canada, Hogs and Plains, sent me a muffler.
Did he?
Yeah.
A regular muffler?
No, a tongue muffler.
A tongue muffler. Well, we're gonna put that one on the mill today and mill a little bit off of it, lighten it up.
Yeah, I want.
This one, I did a better job on this one. I was here by myself and we didn't have a camera rolling or anything, and I could be a little bit more picky with it. I'm not a machinist, guys. I'm a backyard mechanic, You hang a chain fall from a motor, from a tree branch and yank a motor out of a car. But, I know enough to get myself in trouble. But if you take your time and you use a lot of sandpaper and files, I have made these things on a drill press.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that, quite a few of them. I made tube mufflers on the drill press. I even made the end caps and everything, the rubber ducky adapter and the whole shebang. And then I took some of that pre-made exhaust extension stuff that you can buy from Durbro, I think used to sell that stuff, and I made the piece that goes to the motor, and I took it to the guy and said, can you weld these two pieces together for me? And he welds them up, and he says, I said, how much is that? He says, how much do you want to pay me? He says, I got quite a bit of time. I got like 2 hours welding that thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this weld job's going to cost me $85. Yeah. And it probably would have, but he was generous. He says, give me $10 and we're out the door. But it's still a $20 tongue muffler at that, or a tube muffler.
Yesterday in a pinch, I'm out of gold dope. So we went to their local hobby shop, and this goober kid, he said, can I help you, sir? I said, yeah, you got any dope? He just about lost it. Oh, we don't sell that here, but there might be a house down the street.
Serious as can be. And the owner, one of the owner lady that come running over real quick, said, wait, you don't get these guys. So she explained to him that it was paint, model airplane dope paint that we were looking for. He was dead serious, man. His eyes got real big. As Sparky said that, his eyes are just huge. And I can't believe you're asking me that in here. We don't sell that kind of stuff in the store.
Anyway, in a pinch, we went to 2 different hobby shops. Nobody had any gold dope. So I remembered painting my propeller on my shoestring for scale with silver acrylic lacquer paint bought at AutoZone, which is Duplicolor. So I said, well, let's go to AutoZone. And sure enough, they had Duplicolor, gold Duplicolor. And I got to tell you, it comes out of the can better than dope. It's nice and shiny. Got more clear in it, I think, we talked about. But it's nice and shiny. And so when you get in a pinch and you need a small amount, you can go ahead and use Duplicolor. What do you got there?
This is a busted up airplane of mine that I was using base coat, clear coat top on it. Sort of dusty and dirty, but this is a Duplicolor paint job. This was a Cardinal. The Evolution Cardinal.
That
One of your
looks
nasty.
like big weight. Not bad.
It wasn't bad. The clear added a heck of a lot of the weight too. The Duplicolor didn't add very much weight. I mean, it went on and covered real good. The problem with Duplicolor as opposed to dope is
Crack.
it's hard and it will alligator. I mean, it'll just little pin cracks all over the place, and especially on open bays.
Got a nice shine to it. You did a good job.
Yeah, well, that instant shine that you put on there, that
Oh, this is your thing?
yeah, that's your
Oh.
thing on there.
No, that's why. Not as bad as I thought. This is probably 6 ounces. Just scale.
Well, I really bashed that one into the ground good.
Get the scale. Gotta weigh everything.
The rest of it went home in a bag.
I'd say 6 ounces. Six and a half. Missed by half ounce.
Yeah, that's not quite all the back half of the airplane.
Yeah, it'd be 10 ounces. But this is a big airplane, except this is not very big.
Yeah, I mean, this is a vector size airplane. Yeah,
Did you cry?
yeah, I did, because it wasn't very old. I mean, the plane was a year old. It was in its second year. And, I mean, I can see a lot of places I could have changed things on to slim it down. And
Yeah, like leave all the lumber out of it.
yeah, a lot of it I ever built back then. You know, all this adjustable rudder stuff it's nice to have, but I'm not so sure that you really, unless you're in the upper echelon of guys flying, and even then, I don't know that all of them are using that. They're just 1/8 of an inch offset in your rudder and 2 degrees in the motor, and that's about all you need, or straight. And plane flies in a circle, so it's constantly trying to go out, no matter what. Yeah, all these hatches to get in there, hatches on both sides. That's got to be back with plywood and stuff. That's extra weight. This had 1/8 inch horns in it. Removable tail wheel. There's extra weight by plywood and screws and extra beefing inside and stuff for that. So there's a lot of areas that you could really.
That's the windy method.
Lots of bulkheads. This thing got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Every
6,
inch.
7. There's 7 or 8 bulkheads in a foot.
Every inch. Look at this. Look at the thickness of that puppy. 1/4 inch.
Yeah, that was a hollowed block.
Couldn't read a newspaper through it.
No, it never went to that far. I was looking for durability at that point in time. You
Yeah.
know, really,
One.
you can't build these airplanes to crash them or to land hard or hit the ground. You got to build them to fly, and that means building them light. That means leaving out or making it extra thin, or they're fragile. They're hard to handle, but they're better flying. But I just want to show you, because that was Duplicolor paint that I used on this airplane, all spray can.
Yeah.
And if you get the little spray cans instead of the big ones, they have much better nozzles in the real little spray cans than the big ones do, and then you get a pretty nice coat. But I didn't do the best job on this one.
Well, believe it or not, I've won motorcycle paint shows with a spray can paint job.
Yeah, I've won concourse many times with spray paint in RC cars. I've always used Duplicolor on all my RC cars. You get all factory car colors, you know that way. You got a big giant list of different colors, and yeah, I won many. I did some pretty elaborate paint jobs with the spray can.
Lacquer is the most forgiving paint system that you can use. It it allows you to spray the paint with a bug sprayer
Yeah.
if you're willing to sand.
Yeah. You gotta be willing to sand, that's for sure.
I don't use M600. I don't use any chemicals in sanding because it grinds the chemical into the paint. I use either Windex or water with a few drops of dish soap. But mostly Windex
I've
because it's...
used M600 before when Wendy's videos came out and he was talking M600. I said, I gotta try that stuff. It looks like it works really good. It stinks. It's like sanding with lacquer thinner. It does cut fast. I mean, you put that stuff on there and it cuts. But it might have whatever it is that's in it, you know, degreasers, or that's what it is. It's a degreaser.
The problem is, if you don't put any paint on and you cut, you're down to the bare wood.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But
The paint on this airplane, I showed John, is that much in a pint can. So that's 1/2 pint. And there's still a little bit left in that can. So this is on so light that
that's the red.
that's the red.
And he has even less than that, probably 1/4 of that in the gold.
Yeah, the gold went on,
Probably on 1/10 of a pint in gold.
2 cups.
Yeah, 2 spray cups.
Yeah. 4 ounces.
4 ounces. There's a lot of gold on that airplane.
And I'm going to put the gold radiator back here today, and I'm going to do the gold nose today. And I'm going to straighten out a screw up that I did. I didn't cut for the needle valve. So you're going to saw them slots there?
Yep, I'm gonna saw these slots.
Where's
And
that?
guys, I've got a mill, and I don't know if
What happened to that pin? That brass pin for...
Oh, I got it right here somewhere.
Okay, John has made a real neat little tool. We're going to show you how that works. But we're going to show you John's milling when he gets ready to do that.
And you can do this on a drill press with a block of wood, you know, as a depth guide, and you know, adjust your table up and down, or your little saw blade. I got these saw blades from Harbor Freight. Come with a little mandrel and everything. We have 3 different size saw blades. They're about the size of the wire. They're a little thinner than the wire that we use for the hinges, but they work pretty good. Same setup here. Just think of this thing as a drill press. It's the same thing, except I got some movement. I can move it back and forth real easy. So I got a fence set up on this little block that I made to go in my vise, and then I can run it in and out, and that's just my depth of cut into the wood, and then up and down the center in the piece of wood that I'm going to be putting the hinge in, which the flap in this case, or elevators or whatever. And I do this before I shape them, and then that way you've got a nice flat piece of wood. It's going to lay flat, you know, if they're shaped they can rock up and down. So what we're going to do here, I had a little scrap piece here. I don't know what happened to it. It's got to be out here somewhere. Right here it is. And then it's double check here. Now I've already made some test cuts in this, but this is just a double check to make sure that you're centered. I used the hinge. I stuck a piece of wood on here and put the hinge on it and lined it up flat on this edge, and then it's got a hole already in it, so I set my depth of cut that way. And now I'm going to check the centering of the cut and make sure that it's right. I've already made a couple, and it should be adjusted right. I got to put it in there. Made a little saw cut. Now, I could just leave my hinges with just a little cut in there like that, maybe a little bit longer, move it back and forth a little bit, but when you use a saw blade, you come in here and you're cutting and it curves up, the radius of the saw blade. When you go to fill the excess, you got different depths. You get out there to the end, and there's no wood to stick in that the depth. There's no depth there, so it tends to leave a little hole out there at the end. So I just run it all the way through. It makes the same depth cut the whole length of the flap. And I take in grain 64th inch wood and stick in there. Run some thin super glue down each side, sand it flush, and you're done. Just leave it open wherever the pins go. And I guess everybody can understand that. But that's really centered well. I took a caliper and measured both sides and all that. Turned it. You can tell if you turn it over and cut the other direction that it'll line up with the hole. You're centered in. So basically that's that. So now I've got my slots cut already where the hinges go. Got my hole drilled for my flap horn. I don't have it notched out here yet for the wire, the control horn. But we'll get this cut in there. That'll give me a center line for everything. We'll make some noise.
The wrenches. I need a 1/2 inch wrench or a crescent wrench.
Big toolbox.
Yeah, what drawer?
There's a groove, second big one down.
Oh yeah.
There's a nice groove, the whole length there. Now I'll fill this in with wood on all the way up to about, I don't know, 1/2 inch on each side of these slots. Now, a quick view the other side. Make sure you don't cut the groove in the wrong side. And believe me, it's been done before. Second one. Well, you take a little piece of sandpaper and run down in there and get all the dust out of it. Now I'll just start. I use ingrained balsa wood for these. So it's easier to push down in there. It's a little bit tight for 64th inch wood, but it'll go down in there and pretty easy. Just cut little 1/2 inch strips of it and start sticking it in there where you want it. Turn back around here and what Sparky's doing. He's doing some motor stuff. Pretty good.
This.
I'm gonna make some little pieces here.
Gonna have kind of a problem with the fuel line on this thing. It's too tight in there. I'm gonna have to either make a brass elbow to go around the corner to keep it from crushing, or cut this off, or grind out maybe all three.
You know what I've done? If you can find a little spring, sometimes you can use a little spring in there, and it'll keep that line from collapsing around the corner.
ballpoint pen spraying.
Too big around. You have to go to a hardware store or something, Aces a place or something, look for some little springs, but realize it also restricts the inside diameter of the fuel line. So, and if you get one too big, they're almost impossible to get down in there.
I've never done that, so I'll just grind it out. What I'm doing here is taking the spray bar out. John has made a little tool, kind of nice. John has made a little tool. It's a center punch. Got a little tiny end on it. And it goes through the spray bar hole, and it fits perfect to locate the needle valve hole, which I have mistakenly not put in yet. Which is good because I don't have to have any in this, I have to have it in a cowl. So it needs to go right here. I need to grind this corner off. This can be a disaster, what I'm getting ready to do.
1/32, not 64. I think that's not too thick. Actually works pretty good. Did you bring your good super glue over with you today?
Yeah. You want the snorkel on it?
I've got one over here, I'll put it in it.
The super, my glue is right.
I gotta mark these off yet, so I'm not in a big hurry or anything.
This is hot stuff. I mean, it works good.
That's good, I just want it thin.
Yeah, it's thin.
My big bottle is starting to harden up a little bit and it's getting a little thick. These are little things I get.
Yeah.
I just slip over the end of your super glue bottle on a real little teeny Teflon thing. Of course, you can get down here where it starts getting a bigger hole in it, you know, but otherwise, you can't even stick a map pin in that hole, it's so little. Works pretty good. Where was I at? Measuring stick.
Okay, so it's on the corner of that. It's right here. This is the Duplicolor Perfect Match paint I was talking about. Works good. This color, this is acrylic lacquer. And you can dope over it. However, don't flood dope over it.
Read the label on Duplicolor. They also sell enamel, so don't just go in there and just because it says Duplicolor, buy it. Gotta say, it's got toluene and methyl ethyl ketones and all that other stuff in it.
All the good stuff don't hurt you. You have a little round rat do a file.
Yeah, got a couple of them. Not little. You
8
can look in that center 3 drawers, the little ones on the top. One of those center 3 knows that on the toolbox. Big toolbox.
You know,
And there's files, and then a real little one.
yeah, jewelers is what I'm looking for.
Look up there in that jar. Get the stuff started in here. Down in there.
Okay, that should do it. If you're going to design an airplane like we do here, try to think ahead and lay out your plan so that the needle valve comes on a cowl brake line. You don't want to dig a great big groove in the. And it does take a little forethought. We have the CA.
Oh yeah.
Little CA on this. Just touch that up with red on a brush and you never see it. Never see it. How the hell did that happen?
Football.
Got glue all the way around the other side. You got any debonders?
No, naphtha, lighter fluid. That's the same as debonder. Or if he has some nitromethane.
Yeah, nitromethane would take the paint off it.
Yep.
It's gonna be gold anyway here, so it don't matter.
No, right now is where you gotta really be careful.
I was gluing on this side though, and going onto the other side.
That's typical. Yeah, true. That's that dang thin CA, man, I tell you. I've glued myself to more stuff with thin CA than anything.
Like I say, this will be gold, so it don't matter. It don't matter. I think it's gold. It's gonna be gold. Yeah, we'll come right down there with the gold mine.
Mhm. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's how thin the paint is on there. I just sanded right through it where the CA got on there, but this is going to be gold. So there's a little bit right there. I mean, when you're building these airplanes, if you're looking at imperfections like that, I mean,
Standing too close.
okay, that's good. I just find it hard to believe it went all the way around there. It's got to come out of here anyway for the paint job.
Drip super glue all over the place here.
I don't.
Tip came off there.
Okay, so now need to put this on and lay out for the gold. I might have to go on the other side of that line. I don't know until I get the real needle valve in it.
Needed that on that one.
So the gold comes. This is. I guess I don't have to do it exactly to scale. I can just do a gold band, or it because it's.
It's a standoff scale. I just have to sort of look like.
Because it has a real crazy tight turn right here, and there's no way that I can tape that. So I think I'm just going to paint a straight gold band around it.
Not with me.
Yeah, I know it's fine with you. Not your airplane. Let's see if we got any chatters in here. We got 12 people watching, 9 thumbs up. Hey guys, should have 12 thumbs up. Happy New Year, Herbert. Yep. Happy New Year, Mike Simons. So what I should have done before putting that cowl on is back up the holes, so I don't get a bunch of gold paint in the holes coming in and out and spraying all around.
Yep.
So I need to take that off and tape up the holes. I don't know where our buddy from Denmark is, or Holland, or whatever, Holly. I'm sure that later on they'll come on. Okay.
What I'm doing here is I'm putting this in, and I'm just putting it in end grain wise. If you try to put it in the grain running parallel to the flaps,
It'd never go in there.
you keep breaking it off because it's so thin. I even found that if you use the table like this or a flat edge or something to push it down in there, it helps a little bit.
So we're gonna go behind that exhaust. How am I gonna tape off that exhaust? Yes, I'll do it like that. And hopefully it'll work.
I wonder why this is all uneven there. I just randomly just cut some pieces, just used a straight edge on them. So that they seat down in their uniform. Whatever sticks out the top gets taken off anyways.
Okay. All right, 17 watchers. Oh no, 11. Or is that 17? Anyway, Happy New Year, guys. I guess you guys got nothing better to do just like us. Beats the hell out of watching a football game. Okay, so now I want to do a gold stripe. You know what? Been using blue fine line tape. It makes a real nice edge. However, it's way too damn sticky. It might pull up your paint job. Whereas this 3M yellow car painter's tape is very sticky, but it won't pull up the paint job. And it leaves a pretty clean line. That's what all these lines are here, is this yellow tape. And it's going to get an ink line separator on it anyway, so it doesn't much matter.
roll time. I don't know if that actually helps the stiffness of that or not. Probably shouldn't because it's all ingrained in there.
Yeah, there's a problem with using this tape though, because this is a compound curve area, it don't want to turn.
No, it won't turn. Just like regular old masking tape.
I guess I got it.
You can take this stuff and strip it. I take and clean a piece of glass real well and put a piece down on that, take a straight edge and cut little strips of it, and you can get it to go around some pretty good turns if you do that. Cut little 1/8 inch wide strips or 1/4 inch wide strips.
Well, I don't need it to go around the turn, I just need, it's compound here where it's
Alright.
pulling together, you know. The nicest thing about this is that it ends up in the glow plug hole.
Yeah, that's good. Smart.
That should be close enough. I want you to look at it before I shoot it though. It's always best if you have a friend, second set of eyes to look at it before you paint it.
Yeah, right before you shoot it, press down all your tape lines again. It pays dividends.
How's that look? Inspect it.
Pretty good on that side. On that side.
And set it on the ground.
So this side's back or this side's forward or which is typical. It could be an optical illusion because of the offset. I think that might be an optical illusion because of your motor offset and the front end sort of curves. Look at that from the top. That's the guys that are judging that know that to look for that. That's what they'll do. Is that right there? They'll look at that and they'll determine is the paint line off or is it just the nose of the airplane turning?
I think if I put it parallel with the back of the spinner, it would look funny.
Yeah, it'll definitely look off. You want to make it off the
Square.
wing. You got to make it square off the wing,
Yeah.
not square off the spinner back plate. But that looks pretty good, yeah. It looks straight up and down from a side view. That's why I was tilted the airplane up level. And it looks straight up and down on both sides that way, and it looks even off the leading edge of the wing to the back side of the tape from the top view. If you want to get picky, you can sit there and measure it, but you're probably within a 32nd of an inch.
Paint it. Tape it off and paint it.
Oh, that's a dirt block.
What?
The hell does that look like? A big carbon fiber tube.
What?
Sitting, it's that dirt block, that
Oh.
round dirt block. The lettering was down on it. All I saw was gray.
When we mill this, I just wanna I wanna leave this on here. This area gets left on. Right here, only this gets milled off. You know what I mean?
Well, when you set it up in there and you mill it, you'll be able to mill whatever you want.
See how thick that is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's pretty close to the top there, so. Okie dokie. $11 watchers, 10 thumbs up.
Wonder how thick that is on the end plate.
Be nice to take an ounce off.
You're not gonna get an ounce off of it. Well, see, them holes, and we drilled them holes in there, they ate halfway into. There's a little bit that can come off this end too. You can take about not quite half of that off of there, because these holes are actually dug into the thickness of this metal right here.
Uh-huh.
So the most easy way and the most visible way to do it is take the outside off, but you could actually go on the inside and do it deeper, but it's harder to gauge, you know. I mean, you gotta be,
We'll just take the outside off.
use your better machinist skills. Yeah, just mill this side down and buzz the end of it a little bit. And that'll be good. This side's thin enough. I
Yeah.
wouldn't make it any thinner than that. So that's pretty parallel to that side too, so. It looked a little thicker right here than it is right here, so it might have not been beat down onto the blocks very good. But you want this to come across right like that, right even with them.
Yeah, on the thick side. Yeah, leave the meat on the flange.
Right.
Well, I guess it could all come off, I don't know.
I took all mine off. I don't leave extra there, but
Yeah, fuck it then. We'll
all
take
it has to have is enough to make sure that your motors are thinner than this.
Yeah, we'll just
Even
cut it
the
all off
thinnest
then.
part of that.
We just cut her all off. Got 11 thumbs up, 10 watchers. That's what I like to see. More thumbs up than watchers. We've been on an hour and a half. Hope you guys are enjoying the nonsense. Hey John, Derek Herman says, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Derek.
And
Going well.
Herbert Gammett says, Happy New Year to all you there. Mike Salmons, Happy New Year. Jack Snavely's Happy New Year. Doug Meyer, Titanium Hardware, Jack Snavely. If you enjoy the show, hit that super chat button. also gets a little silver inspection door up there. And 2 silver stripes. I mean, it's not a scale airplane, you know, I don't know how crazy I want to go with all this business. So we'll have an hour's worth of taping and 2 seconds of painting.
Yeah. Such is life.
There. I'm not taping all this stuff up, we're just painting right here, so you know, results may vary. Come on. I guess I can cut it off. Ah, you can't do that! Ah! Watch me. What?
I hear you.
Correct way to do it would be to tape the whole airplane off just to paint this one little spot, but I'm not much into correctness.
Man, I need a little thumb screw for that. Set screw's about shot. There's a little project to make.
What do we got here? We got any chatters? Nope. Derek was the last one. Happy New Year. We got 12 watchers though. That's 11 thumbs up. You guys don't have anything better to do either. Always building. That's what I'm doing. I'll lay a towel over this thing when I shoot the gold, eh? You got towels up there?
Yeah. Really should be shooting down here in the basement, bud.
No, up there.
Towels up there in the garage?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Paper towel.
Yeah.
We can take some towels out. Better not go that deep with it. Problem is, this thing's got so much frickin'
Free play.
free play in it.
No, I wouldn't shoot any paint down here because I know what had happened.
Yeah, I want to still be alive. My old lady got a knife and mace and all sorts of stuff for Christmas. And I can't outrun a bullet. And she's a pretty good shot. So.
Okay, y'all jigged up here?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I might back that off just a little bit more and sneak up on it rather than. See, look at that free play. It's got.
Quarter of a
almost-
turn?
Yeah, quarter of a turn. Let's just skim it.
John is working on my muffler here, taking off 1/16 of an inch or so. Is that the material I brought from Jerry's, or is that your material?
This is the whole handle from the entryway door.
I thought you were going to bring out the big cutter and make it in one pass.
I was going to, but if I want to mill the end of it, then I gotta take that out.
Right.
You know, change all the damn setup again. No power feeds, everything's a manual. So no CNC stuff here.
Did you get it all?
I don't know. Take it off and look at it.
It's pretty even.
When you sand it, it'll take it down a little bit more. You sand the marks out of it.
Mm-hmm. That'll work. Feels
Yeah.
lighter already.
Now, if we want to cut a little teeny shave off the end of it.
Yeah.
hardness yet to this, but you need to put that on a piece of glass and lap that surface in. I haven't done that to it.
Makes it handy when your friend's got the correct tools. What'd you have to give for this thing?
$750, I think, is what I paid for it.
Well worth it.
Yeah, you came with some tooling and stuff.
Can take 40 thousandths off there. Well, John just made my airplane a 1/2 ounce lighter. Right where it counts, right on the nose. Feel lighter already?
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Hmm? 1/16 of an inch.
Not quite 16, but
See it? Probably should have milled that off down that side there.
That'd be fine. Let me see.
Trying to get down in them little grooves down in there, and it's too big to go down in them.
Oh, I see where you're at.
You know, you gotta see where they're at. You don't know the deepest part. I think I can take another 64th off of it.
Have these calipers or something.
Works opposite when you do it like that.
Wouldn't go too much more.
I'm not gonna get it more. I'll be making another one. I'll be going the wrong freaking direction. Where are you gonna put your tap, your pressure tap at?
On the top.
Man, I just don't trust the measurements on this thing. There's so much slop in it.
This is a Harbor Freight mill. That'll be good enough. Leave a little.
With Chinesium milling bits. All this stuff second hand, and the guy that I got it from was a knife maker. And this thing is probably 40 years old. But the original owner of it bought it and never used it, and had it for 15 years. Or
Harbor
something.
Freight's been around 40 years.
Well, it's the manufacturer that Harbor Freight, you know, Central Machining and all that kind of stuff, you know. Harbor Freight sells one identical to this. Identical.
They got to order it though.
Yeah, they also got a knee mill, just like a regular big Bridgeport where the bottom comes up and down. I wish I would have gotten one of those rather than this. It's got fixed head. This head would rotate all around and all that stuff. Sort of a pain in the ass sometimes when you set it up.
We're gonna sand that on the disc sander, right?
I want to take the burr off, so I know where we're measuring to. I don't know which one of those is the deepest or the shallowest or whatever down there.
Well, you look at this. Look out here. Which one of these holes is closest to the end? They're all on the same plane.
Probably that one right there. I'll take a little bit more out of it. Get you as light as we can get you.
Light is good. standing on a tripod.
Thing moves, man, as soon as you unlock it. Oh, I'm not big off of it. I don't want to burn the part. It's too much guessing with this mill. I think that's gonna leave you about a 1/16 of an inch down there, so on top of that hole.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you
I can stand on this, right?
go. Yeah, you can sand on that. There's that little belt sander right there on the other side if you'd rather use it. I'm gonna hook it up to the top back too. This is the one I used to turn all the edges. I took it, set them on here like this, and I took them and rounded them off. And then I got in here like this and got these a little, not really just like that. See, I guess you might try to do it on that.
I just want to, I'll use that, but I want to get this machine marks out of this first. But you can't hold on to it long.
No, them taking long to look at a hot part. Where's that vacuum sweeper in there?
I don't know. We're gonna make some noise here with the vacuum cleaner, but kind of got to. Trying to get all the machine marks out of this thing.
50 grit paper on that other one instead of 80.
I'm sure the guys out there watching this that are machinists are going, ah!
How about that? Gave you a fair warning at the beginning of the video. Your backyard mechanics. It'll look good in the end. Knife making 101. They do the same kind of stuff. It makes some stuff look pretty good too. When you don't have a CNC mill, you ought to see what it looks like when you're just doing it on a drill press and stuff. Pretty scary. I haven't gotten any real fine belts for that yet. They were all out of them down there. I think 150 is about as fine as I get.
Close enough. Sand it up.
There's some water right there.
Yeah, looks very cool. Here. Sand it up and polish it on the buffing wheel.
Yep.
It'll be fine. I need to go down or go out in the garage and paint this thing.
You don't have any eyelets here, do you?
No. What do you want to do? Wrap lines?
No, I meant for the hinges and little teeny eyelets.
Nope, they're not in this box. If we'd have talked about it, I'd have brought them.
Yeah, I said something yesterday, but it was just in passing. I didn't really dwell on it or anything. I don't really want to have to cut this. This is a brass tubing.
We are going to walk upstairs and paint this thing. You can bring the camera. Not too big. 16th inch is what you need.
Don't ask you too much of me, are you?
That's it right there. Oh, that's solid rod. Okay. See if your wire fits before you go through any big rigmarole.
Yeah, that's how true, how true.
Make all them things put together. Oh shit, the wire don't fit.
I've done that. Yeah, I've got so many pieces of wire out here that hell, who knows what.
I think the wire we bought yesterday's right.
Yeah, it's all got thread back in there.
Oh. That piece right there. You know, I just eyeballed it.
Well, that's all I did.
Man!
We're good. Been doing this too long, you know.
Okay. You gotta carry the soda, my soda, the battery, and this stand, and I'll carry the paint, the foam pad, and the airplane.
Man, you ain't asking for much, are you?
Nope. Carry that. Yeah. Make sure you show your living room full of airplanes.
Yeah.
Encroaching on her space. Oh.
Yeah, the old lady's getting on me about taking up her hobby side, arts and crafts side. Of course, there's all my foam for wings, airplanes over in that corner, 5 airplanes, and 4 airplanes right here. Her little corner back there.
Just growing, huh?
And I don't see any indication that it's gonna stop.
Smile, you're on candid camera.
You better not be, I'm coming out and have a cigarette and I don't wanna be.
You're on camera right now. Say hello to everybody.
Hello. I told you I don't want to be on camera. Pointed away from me.
black or, I guess turn it over. Little towel up there. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty covered though.
Oh, it's all red.
I see red at, right in there, so I go ahead and put the towel on.
A little red in this opening there.
That's okay. Ooh, sorry, spit it out.
That's it.
I don't wanna, what happens is, it'll model if you take a brush and go around it with black or something, then have it modeled. Come too far to screw it up now. I still gotta paint that white stripe back there. It's pretty early in the day yet, isn't it? Let's see.
Not much yet.
11:45.
Yeah.
We're doing good. Let's see. We've been on 136 minutes. Happy New Year. Okay, guys, let me know you're still watching. Type me something in the chat box. 16 thumbs up though, and
Cool. You don't let me again.
super chats help, thumbs ups help, the shares help. Mike Simon says great progress. Yeah, it looks pretty good in person. There's a few flaws, but as with all of them, they're just the way it is.
Like we talked about it before, you can chase that stuff forever.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mike. So that's an outstanding model. It's should look real good in person.
That's outstanding in the garage right now.
Yeah, we're out standing in the cold. Here comes John's New Year's present.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh,
Huh. What are they doing now?
okay. Let's unwrap it.
I was gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, must have had something with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it does that every now and then here.
How many people are watching, Phil?
17 thumbs up, 8 people watching. Happy New Year part of it. See what the gold nose is gonna look like here.
With a silver spinner. I think that gold matches pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Not bad in a pinch.
Lucked out. Big time, really. Now the fun one.
Yeah, make or spray, but it gets it, like I say, it gets an ink line on it, so. It's either ink line or painted one. I might paint it, depending how. I'll do it on an ink line, and if ink line turns out like shit, I'll paint over
Payment,
it.
yeah. Going around them corners and stuff like that with ink lines can be a royal pain.
I got over the part that I was holding my breath.
Yeah, I know.
Usually the paint's gonna pull up and be right there.
Right dead center top, yeah. Or right on that cowling line.
You know what? I was worried about the paint bleeding over.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Not won't worry about it.
It's underneath the muffler.
Ta-da!
Duplicolor.
The great saber.
Rattle can, spray paint, lacquer. Make sure that they do sell enamel too, so make sure if you use Duplicolor and you're using dope too, make sure you get the lacquers. Got xylene and
You can't paint dope over enamel.
enamel over dope, but no dope over enamel.
That turned out
A
really.
butyrate over nitrate, but you can't put nitrate over butyrate.
That turned out
Yeah, it looks good. It really adds to it.
real clean.
You get the
Gets a black stripe here now,
stripes on it.
and a silver stripe here, and a silver access handle patch there. You know.
Was the
access-
spinner aluminum on the
Yeah.
original airplane?
Yeah.
See, all this gold stuff's supposed to be radiators, so we think they use some kind of a super thin brass sheet,
Yep. it's-
sort of corrugated looking, made into a radiator with little
I should have brought the book.
little lines running through it. He's not going to duplicate those lines, but gives it the impression that they're there.
It's not the scale. It is what it
It's
is.
standoff scale.
Yeah, stand up way off.
Stand off in the cornfield on the other side of the flying site. Sorry about the light in here, guys, but this is all we got.
Turned out good though.
Yeah, I like it.
Get the clear on it, it'll be beauty.
The only difference between that Duplicolor and that butyrate gold is the shine. This shines more initially. This is more flat. That doesn't, once you hit it with clear, that'll look just like that does. It almost looks like it's got clear on it already. So this gold Duplicolor must have a lot of clear in it.
You
It's
see how-
mixture.
You see how thin it comes out of the
Oh
can?
yeah, it's thin too, yeah. Goes on like water. You gotta be really, really careful shooting it. You have a run in a heartbeat.
When you're painting any type of metallic, you have to do a technique which known as drop shoot. If you'll notice, I didn't go. I shot it up and let it drop on there. That way it won't model. And modeling is where you got all kind of different patterns in it that it's not supposed to have.
It's almost like painting enamel. You put a tooth coat on with enamel, you sort of dust it, and it puts little specks all over it, and then let them sort of set a little bit. And then when you spray your heavier coat, it gives it something to sort of bite to keep it from running.
Yeah.
It works in that way a little bit too, but he's right about the modeling. It'll look like little fish eyes almost, but not quite a fish eye. It is just the swirl in the color where it's heavy. If you spray some of that in the can, in the lid, you'll see it. It'll be modeled in the lid, where when it puddles like that, you'll see the little swirls and stuff in it. Give you an idea of what he's talking about. Pearls and metallics, and they're all notorious for that.
This pearl green that went on back here took about
15 coats of paint.
It did.
Yeah, I know. Out of an airbrush. And that was over white.
Yep. That shit there covers good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty good.
you could have put that over black probably.
But remember, this is butyrate here over these open bays, and it's more elastic, flexible than this lacquer right here. This is on a solid surface. That's on open bays, and this won't alligator like you will. If you shot these with that lacquer, within a couple of years, you'll have little cracks all over in it on all the open bays. I did that cardinal, and that crash part that's down there is not alligatored yet. But I don't know if that had something to do with the urethane or the dope base that was on it or what, but.
Well, this gets urethane to here anyway, so.
It'll be a sharp little model when it's done. Hope my nobler comes out as good.
You know what it takes.
Oh yeah. We buy elbow grease by the case. About 10 cases or 20 cases at a time. And sandpaper out the yin yang. This thing's got, just on the 320 grit paper, it's got probably $25 worth of sandpaper that was used on this airplane just in 320 grit. Doesn't include the finer grits or anything like that. Probably another $20 or $30 in finer grits worth of sandpaper, and when it's all said and done, it'd probably be pushing $75, $80, $100 worth of sandpaper.
Yeah.
There's no way for a good finish without elbow grease and sandpaper.
Go ahead and grab the camera and let's go back downstairs. And my soda. Now put it together and see what it looks like.
Let me get that door open. You able to get it open?
At least the garage is closed. If the birds got into the garage, it couldn't go far.
Yeah. He's a little scared out there. Good thing.
He was freaked out down in the basement.
Oh yeah. Too much stuff. Too much going on.
Okay. Yeah, set it right up here and put the battery up there. Soda. Okay, thanks. Okay, we're gonna put it together. What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I don't know. Been thinking about making a little piece to flare these copper tubing out.
Use a piece of 1/8" piano wire to make a punch. Well, you make it just like, what happened to your, oh, it's in here.
Yeah, I know how to make it.
You make it just like that. Probably could use that.
Yeah, might be able to.
I got a little, well, you got a busy worker hammer too. Not a little 2-ounce hammer,
Yeah.
just one tap.
I got a little body hammer I like to use a lot too. That's a lightweight hammer. My grandson bought me that little Harbor Freight little teeny hammer, and I put it on a grinder and ground it where it looked halfway decent. I was sort of embarrassed to set it out, but he wanted to help his papaw out. And so we put it to use.
Didn't turn out bad.
Looks good. Looks so good. Hard part's gonna be cutting all these little boogers. Little eyelets are the cat's meow.
So, is there any reason why this thing has to be so damn long? I mean, it's long.
What's that?
The fuel line inlet, I mean, it's sticking out. I mean, I think I could cut that much off of it. It hits the,
It's the side of the fuselage up there.
yeah.
Well,
Can't make a mistake though if you.
no, you gotta have enough to hold the fuel line on, 'cause that bend will make it pop off. How long are these gotta be? 1/4 inch is too long, really. This is where one of them, I don't know if you could do that on one of them little teeny Harbor Freight chop saws. Or not. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. I just want to see what it looks like anyway, so I'm basically over here for painting. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta get that screw in there first. I've lost my 440 screw.
There was a washer stuck to a piece of tape over there.
I need a muffler screw. It was a 440.
I lost mine earlier today. I had to find some other ones.
So you, oh, here it is. Found it.
No, I don't have a lot of them.
Well, this is just a regular 1-inch screw. I'm just using it to hold it on there. I want to see how that muffler sets in there before I go much farther. Hopefully I got clearance on the damn thing now.
Clarence.
Clearance, yeah, clearance.
We got Paul Kobe gonna be coming up sometime at the beginning of the year here. I'm gonna help him out.
He call you?
I talked to him after he got back from vacation a little while ago. I told him it might be a week or two before I got back a hold of him again. We started solidifying plans. Me and you need to sort of talk about that offline a little bit. See what we're gonna do, make up a game plan.
Well, I suggest we just design him an airplane.
Well, that was the intention, but we gotta do it.
You gonna bring wood or what?
I don't know what's going on with that. I gotta figure that out. All that stuff's gotta be figured out.
And I'll donate a little wood, but it won't be my best wood.
Oh no, it's not to be expected. He's sort of a intermediate beginner guy. Ouch, ouch. I think what I need to do is cut a little piece of that wire, slip that over the end of that wire and do that.
Give me a 1-inch 440 bolt, would you? Please. Doesn't have to be a long one, just a 1-incher. Try and get this in there square to see if we got clearance.
Clarence.
Let's see if we got any chatters. John Sukulak, oh, he just thanked you for telling him what kind of paint it was. It's a secret. Everything I do is a secret.
Yeah, you can find all them secrets out on the internet. Look hard enough.
Okay. This is so I can get the weight, but we're going to lose a little bit in the bag and part of this stuff. And you put in a fuel line. I know we didn't pick up any weight. At least I wouldn't imagine.
I would think you did. Not with that little teeny bit, but always check.
Took it off the muffler and put it on the paint. Did you put the wrench back? No, I got it there. good. Okay, that's that. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I got plenty of clearance now. Got 32nd of an inch clearance. It took quite a bit of that off that muffler.
Yeah.
Thank you, Herbert. It's a representation of the Machicastoli MC72. Not a scale paint job, just kind of hint at it. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, actually. So now we can make a line in that cockpit. I can work on that. In that canopy, windscreen, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad I did that. I was seriously debating on not to, but I got a book, and after looking at the book, it just wouldn't look right without it.
Yeah, you gotta do enough to make the representation. It's easy to go a little too much too.
Okay, now John has used up some of his sandpaper here, and the roll comes out like this. We both bought the rolls at the same time. They start out about that big, half-inch bigger around than that. This is what I have for mine. So I've used more sandpaper in this model than he used in whatever he's using. So I think this is what, about $35 for a roll?
Yeah, right out there by the time you get it home. 35, maybe a little bit more, 37.
And this is good stuff. Cuts really good.
Stays sharp a little longer, I feel. And it also doesn't load up very easy, which is really nice.
You can unload it too. And just wipe it on the table, the towel or something.
Your pants.
Yeah, your pants. Happy New Year, Holly.
Yeah, Holly made it.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were going to make it. We've been on 164 minutes is, let's see, 2 or 3 hours. 60, 120, 180 is 3 hours. Almost 3 hours. Been boring you guys to death for 3 hours. But if you guys want to see it, If you go back in the video and look, we've done a lot of stuff in 3 hours. Machining, sanding, painting, taping, hinge caulking. We looked at John's Nobler at the beginning of the video. So, I mean, covered a lot of ground.
And right now I'm doing a headache work.
John is over here fiddling.
Making little brass bushings for hinges.
Yeah, explain what you're doing.
Every one of these little teeny hinges have to have a little brass bushing in that hole. It's a 1/16 inch brass tubing cut in pieces that aren't even a 1/4 inch long. They're a little bit, this 1/8 inch. And they're just a little bit longer than an 1/8. I'm grinding them to the right size. And then you gotta clear the hole out. So the way I do that and be able to hold that, I take a piece of the wire, which is the wire I'm going to use for the hinge, and I just stick in that piece of brass tubing, and I let it stick out past the end, and then I can sit here and grind on, do whatever. It gets hot. But that's how I hold them, and I find that I don't lose too many, thank goodness.
Holly likes the rudder and the engine cowling. Well, the rudder had a blemish that I had to fix, so I go back up. I probably won't show that on camera because it's too hard to take the camera up and down the stairs and all that, but I gotta tape off the rudder and shoot a little bit of white on the stripe. I think what had happened was I had taken the scalpel and cut that paper there.
Probably in the clear coats when you put it on. Probably covering something else. It just accidentally.
And it split. Holly, if you want to see the gold, it's on the wheel pants as well. There's gold. There's gold on the wheel pants here as well. It will, the whole thing will get a clear coat. Oh, I got a little bit of overspray on that here. See a couple of gold flecks down here. I guess lighter fluid took it off the last time, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I dropped one thing on the filters.
Oh, there's gold flecks out here even on the wingtip. No, it ain't gonna come off. Look at that. Isn't that a bit? Couldn't see it out in the garage.
Very typical.
Take a look at it, tell me what you think. Think I ought to monkey with it? I have both wingtips. Wherever the towel was.
Okay, it's all back in there.
Thought I could get away with it. Not bad, but what do you think?
I'm not gonna get away with that. Hate to say that. Hate to say it.
Wonder if I ought to try the 91 alcohol. Will probably take it right down to the base.
Problem is that is just that.
Well,
Well, with all the teeth ends and all that junk in there, it really eats into the. I ain't try it.
I don't know, just leave it. I meant to do it. Kind of like my Monado. Same thing that happened with it.
Yeah, gotta make sure you cover them good.
I was trying to get away with it. Nope, the spinner doesn't need gold because the real airplane has an aluminum spinner. You got any 70% alcohol? I'm afraid the 91 is a little foggy. Try it.
Typically don't buy it. 70%.
Well, that gold. Yeah, we'll just leave it on there. Anybody asks, it's gold metal plate. That's a white spot there.
No.
Not really. Yep, not gonna worry about it. It is what it is. You won't be able to see it from 10 foot away anyway. Pretty much have to be up right on top of it. Couldn't see it in the garage though.
Get down here then.
A lot of running.
Yeah, this may be what it takes.
No, what it's gonna take is shut your eyes. You get it in there?
Oh yeah, I can get them in there. Some of them are tougher than others. They got little burrs on them.
Well, if I keep doing this, it will get lighter because I'm taking paint off.
Yeah.
Lighter fluid doesn't do nothing, though.
That's more for naphtha, more for glue, tape glue. Sometimes it won't even work on that. Three down, three to go.
It'll be fine.
Okay, what time do you want food? 2, like we said earlier.
Go a little bit earlier than 2. Let's just do our normal lunchtime about 1. Will that be alright?
Time is it now?
I know.
About one.
About 1.
Then you don't get it
It's
at 1.
12:30.
Okay.
That give you enough time?
I'm getting 90% of it off.
That's good.
Of course, I'm getting 90% of the red off too.
Well, as long as you don't go through the red.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What noise was that?
Paul Kobe saying Happy New Year on email.
Oh,
It's the guy we were talking about.
Let's see what anybody say anything. Yep, that's overspray. That is overspray. What you saying now?
It's just the same one, so I haven't.
Oh, because you haven't looked at it.
I'll get him here in a second, so I've got my hands full right now. Tedious. That.
Yep, that'll work. That'll be good enough. Get the clear on, it'll be perfect.
It actually worked.
$183 is 3 hours. Well, I think we're going to end the stream here. I guess it's about lunchtime. And may or may not come back, but look for us. Hey, when you subscribe, be sure to check the bell icon and select all notifications so that you get notified when I upload one of these streams. So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for watching the first stream of the new year. Till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. Keep building. See ya. All right, Holly. See you then. See you later.